Okay, we've got both players sharing the top. It's Mind over here in the upper left. It's Horang2 here in the upper right.
Okay, so this is actually, positionally speaking, quite nice for Horang2, in my opinion. And let me explain why for a moment here. The third base, if we do go into a more standard macro game, the third base for Mind is extremely close to where Horang2 is. So it is super easy for him to slow that down. To push uphill against a Protoss that has a shuttle and ranged Dragoons up there is one of the most difficult parts of this map if they choose to make it difficult for you. Not every game, like obviously if they were doing it every game, you'd be like, okay, I know it's coming.
You
and you'd play around it, right? But in a standard game, if they're mixing that in, it's very tough to do, especially when it's this close to the Protoss base.
So we see Mind's making his depot here in his main. There's kind of a funny, tricky wall-in you can make right by your main where the depot and the barracks touch each other. A Zealot can't fit in between them, but a Marine can, and therefore you can hold off any kind of high pressure just really easily to start things off. But Mind not even going to do that this time around, just putting his barracks in a pretty open location. Confident that Horang2's not going to do any kind of aggression.
Yeah, and he can always just build a depot to the right side of that barracks if he thinks he's going to need it. That would probably have to be the next depot because a Zealot will come before your third. So looks like he's not opting to do a very super fast expansion like we saw in the previous game on Polaris Rhapsody. Everything looking pretty standard overall for both players.
Yeah, Protoss is going to get that Cybernetics core up, get the Dragoons out. I know we do have people that watch this that are not super acquainted with StarCraft 1. Basically, Protoss, the first thing they need to do is get Dragoon range, because Dragoons are basically horrible without range.
Yes.
Once you have that, you've got a bunch of different options. The most common one is to try to get an expansion up, or get a gateway and then an expansion up, depending on how safe you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And the other route is to start doing crazy stuff. Do a DT rush, do a really quick Reaver rush or something like that. But generally speaking, you'll always see them try to take an expand up here and do more technical stuff later on.
Yeah, that's generally the case. Like, if you try one base against Terran and they sniff it out, you are going to be so far behind in the mid-game.
Yeah.
So Mind has scouted him very quickly. He kind of gets a full scout off, checking everything a couple times. He knows when that first Dragoon is going to pop out. And, yeah, I mean, it looks like just a factory expand here from Mind. So it's going to get more normal for the openings.
Yeah, that's correct. SCV is still scouting around here. But once the Dragoon's out, there's really a time limit for how long you can have this SCV here.
Yeah.
But, as long as the SCV's alive in their base, they can't really make the tech they want to make.
Yeah.
So you can see how he's kind of microing this SCV back and forth, making this Dragoon do a lot of heavy lifting before it's finally taken out.
Yeah.
Now, the SCV's gone. What is he going to make?
Yeah, we'll see. I think it's probably going to be a Nexus. It's pretty hard for him to get anything hyper-aggressive at this point, especially considering Mind has already scouted 3 pylons in that main base. He knows if there's going to be tech, it doesn't start until, like you said, that SCV dies. So,
right.
Mind starts his command center, and it looks like Horang2 likely will be starting a Nexus right here.
So this will probably be a fairly slow start on both of these sides. I mean, right now, obviously they don't have total vision of what each other are doing, so they want to try to be ready for anything crazy. But since we can see what both players are up to, yeah, I mean, they're just going to do a fast expand. And it looks like Mind is, his build is actually almost particularly greedy, as he got only 2 Marines, which throws the command center down, says, you're not going to attack me. Now, Horang2 is actually being kind of greedy, too. He's going to get a Robo Bay right away. Not crazy greedy, but he's going to get a Robo out here and try to get some observers. He's confident that, in fact, there's not going to be any kind of attack here from Mind, and you know what? There isn't.
Yeah, it's, you can do things like a 2-factory play, and particularly in this game, based on the builds, that would kill the Nexus with 100%, but
right.
That's very risky for Terran. It's almost all in some ways. Like, if you don't get that damage, Protoss is so far ahead of you that it becomes almost unwinnable. But right now, just a few Dragoons coming in, pressuring a bit.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, you can't lose one of your first 2 siege tanks.
That's right. Oh, man, but Horang2 loses a tank.
Yeah, you can't be fighting this anymore.
Yeah, that's basically the end of that. Trying to come out there and do damage. every Dragoon and every tank is very important. If you see any killed off pretty quickly, it's bad news. And not surprisingly, as is somewhat common right now in the meta, we see a Reaver play here from our Protoss player.
Yeah, it's a really good choice. And again, like if you have a Reaver and you're not losing your shuttle and your Reaver, taking the third base as Terran is super hard, and pushing on 2 bases as Terran is super hard as well because you have the shuttle and Reaver already.
That's right. This forces a lot of turrets out of the Terran.
Yeah, and not just that. Again, like if Mind wants to take a third base, it's going to be really difficult to get up that ramp. But it seems because of this timing of that second factory that Mind is likely going to push here.
He's going to try to dive on that tank. Now, one more Dragoon shot, and that does it. Now, keep in mind, there's a Reaver inbound here. And actually, every Marine that's taken out is going to be even less defense against the shuttle as well.
That is true.
And this is going to be pretty tricky. Now, Mind not overextending, goes ahead and goes back home. But we don't have a shot of the Terran's base yet. In fact, Mind is going to do a kind of cool variation of this where he tries to push with Mind. So, yeah.
Mind pushing with Mines. I can't wait. It's going to blow my mind here, Tasteless. But the Reaver can be strong against this. Well, this is a nice push, though. He's killed a lot of Dragoons already.
I almost feel like the Reaver's ideal against this, but we did see a lot of Dragoons that were killed off there.
Good mine laying right there. And great micro from Horang2. He's actually picked off everyone but 1 mine so far.
Okay, so he's going to drop the Reaver right here. The first shot goes down, takes out a Vulture.
It also gets the mine that was there, which is a pretty big deal.
Yep. Another Reaver shot goes out. It takes out the Vulture. He needs to get rid of these tanks.
That was a grave mistake there from Horang2.
This actually could start to snowball pretty quickly here.
He's getting a lot of probes now, and it's not like Mind is all in by any regard. He's just on 2 factories.
Yeah, he's trying to get rid of this one. Oh my God, he miscontrolled that.
He's trying to get that Mind
I feel like
off of that
Horang2's
damage.
probably losing his mind right now.
Yeah.
Trying to control this correctly. So far, so good here. It looks like that tank is going to be... No, it's not. Yes, it is. It's taken out finally. Why do I second guess myself?
StarCraft is a crazy game, Tasteless. That's why.
Some of these fights are hard to call. I know there should be a second Reaver coming out here any moment, but right now, I mean, Horang2 is on the ropes. Even these probes are having to defend.
Yeah, this is just a ridiculous amount of damage from this one Speed Vulture. But, you know, Horang2 definitely with a bit of miss micro there we saw. He dropped the Reaver out way before it was ready to shoot, and he left it out, and the tanks picked it off.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how long it can take Reavers to fire. Okay, now the shuttle's coming in here. I don't know if we have enough defense. In fact, there's really no defense, at least for where we see the shuttle being right now.
Yeah, he's creating some turrets at the moment. Let's see what this micro's like. Trying to target down with this Reaver.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Okay, it connects.
Nice one.
Thought it might have been a dud there.
Look at this, finding an open path here to that front mineral line.
Man, but some of these Vulture run-throughs are pretty insane.
Oh, he's actually getting good kills, and he has that shuttle speed, so it's not like you can catch this easily.
In fact, he's going to try to loop down here to the natural. Is there anything there to defend?
There's a turret in the back of it. Oh, and then right in the front as well. Oh, gosh. This is not looking good. He's losing all this. He has to drop it. And that is not the first time we've seen Horang2 lose the shuttle with the Reaver in it.
Oh, my God. He just taps out.
Yeah.
Can't say I blame him, though. I mean, you know, in that game, I think Horang2 said, okay, I need to get a ton of SCVs and then bring the Reaver back out and defend with it. He overstayed his welcome, mind shot it down, and I can almost promise you guys that a follow-up push, and you know the math can get a little bit fuzzy on it, but a follow-up push probably would have ended up killing Horang2.
Yeah, he took too much damage in that early game.
Yeah.
It was impeccable micro from Mind for most of it. And Horang2 started fantastically, targeting down mines and everything.
Yeah.
But when he lost that first Reaver, that was the key to really holding that push, and it caused him to lose lots of probes and mining time. And well, you guys saw it. It did not go well for him at that point.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to now jump into Game 4 here. Mind with that 2-0 lead, and remember, the winner of a KSL